Hey folks, this is Vincent Adderley with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and welcome to episode 31 of the DGA podcast.
That's baloney!
No, I'm serious. It is episode 31. If you can believe it, we've done 31 episodes up to this point.
No. That's a lot of baloney what you just said to me.
Oh, sit down.
Sit down!
Anyway. I'm arguing with Judge Judy, sorry. So, alright. I am Vince, your host, and with me, of course, is...
Idly,
yes.
Yes.
So, get off X4! Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm making tea. I'm sorry.
Okay, alright. What kind of tea is it?
The peach tea. It's
Peach
so
tea.
yummy.
Alright, awesome. Alright. So...
Hello?
Let's go ahead and get right into it. This month, we're going to talk about our top 5 open world games. What is an open world game, Idly? What is that all about?
It's a game that focuses on world exploration, and it's story rich, and you can probably craft in it and have combat, and it's so big that it's actually very difficult to fall off the face of the virtual Earth.
Would you call these worlds open?
Yes, I would call them open because they are open world games.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Very good. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Now, keep in mind, these are not like, these are top 5 of all time. No, this is our opinion. So, our opinions. You guys will have different opinions, obviously.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, God, why?
Yeah, or why didn't you talk about this one? Or why didn't you talk about that one? Well, keep in mind, A, it's a top 5. We only have so much room. And B, we don't have every game known to man. You might have a game that's open world that we don't own and have never played before. So keep that in mind.
And there's so many, too.
There are.
There's just so many.
All right. Let's jump right into number 5. All right, so my top 5, number 5 listing here is Fallout 4. This is a fairly big game. I mean, a lot of people have probably heard of Fallout. I have never played the original Fallout 1 and 2. Those were isometric top-down RPGs. Fallout 3 actually turned it into this first-person open-world environment. And I really enjoyed Fallout 3, just because, like, there was always something to do. I would always branch off and do something else. And then Fallout 4, which is what we're featuring here, very much similar to Fallout 3 in the way it plays. And, of course, you get to have a dog. His name is Dogmeat. But you can also, like, base build to some limited degree. Like, you could put down turrets, you could build this satellite dish thing, and that would attract random NPCs to your base. And you could have multiple bases scattered throughout the wasteland. I think it was in Massachusetts. Boston is the location of this place. Yeah, Boston, represent.
That's where I'm from.
So yeah, you could have multiple bases throughout this land and attract people to each one. You could put defenses down. You can build them beds, various furniture. I mean, it wasn't anything grandiose, but you could put down, say, like these little shops, these little stores, these storefronts. And you could come back from time to time and earn bottle caps. They would just earn passively for you, so you could have this little side business going. It's all passive, of course, but still pretty fun. Have you played Fallout 4, Hun, and did you enjoy it?
I did. It's actually in my honorable mentions thing. I haven't played it for that long, just because there were so many other games to catch up on. But the amount of time that I did put into it, I really enjoyed it, and I wish I could go back to it. It was a lot of fun, and I eventually would like to go back to it.
I finally beat it.
You did? How was
2021. It was like November, December. Like I'm one of those people that play a game like this. I get halfway, then I quit. And then I come back to it 6 months later and I start over because I'm like, what the heck am I doing? What's in my inventory? What am I doing with this? What am I planning? So I just started over. And I keep doing that. There's a vicious cycle there. And I've done that with this game like 10 times. I finally is like, you know what? I'm just going to see this through. I'm going to binge it. So I did, finally, and I got through it all. And it was okay. Like, the ending was... I felt like I didn't have a whole lot of, like, there was one ending, like, I don't know. I'm sure there were multiple endings, but, like, I don't know. Everything felt so lackluster. I was kind of disappointed with the ending myself, but it's
Was
all
it
right.
fun all the way
Yeah,
through,
I
or
mean,
was it kind of grindy or tiring at all?
I had more fun looting stuff and storing stuff and organizing, as I do with games like this all the time. I'm a pack rat. I grab almost everything. Only about 3/4 of the way through do I say, I really don't need that. Or I really don't need that now, because I know I've got 6,000 back at my base. I don't need any more of these. Because you have that weight limit. You can, of course, increase it with, your strength attribute or constant, whatever it is. But still, I liked in Fallout 4 here that you had a huge RPG skill tree, and there was all these different attributes. You had your strength and your dexterity and your perception. I think it was called special. Was the enneagram? I don't know. Special. S for strength, P for perception, C was charisma. No, E was endurance, C charisma, I was intelligence. A is agility, and L was luck.
There you go.
Yeah,
you got it.
So yeah, and then on top of that, there were these columns under each, and you could grab like the Lady Killer perk, do extra damage to women NPCs, or you could, I think, become a. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but I could have sworn you could have like become a vampire or something. Maybe that was a different game. I'm getting my open worlds confused at this point. But long story short, there are a lot of different perks to choose from, and you can sort of customize your character how you want. Do you want a sneaky character with a lot of action points for your VATS? Your VATS is like a slow down time, bullet time, pick who you want to shoot, what limb you want to shoot at kind of thing. And you spend action points to do it. You could focus your build around that. You could focus on sneaking, which is something I love to do. You could find various people along the way and get them as companions. Only one at a time, though. I just kept the dog because I'm a dog person. But yeah, Fallout 4. That was. I think it's a great open world game. It'll keep you busy for several hours at least. So
yeah, cool.
All right. Well, that being said, what was your number 5?
Mine was 7 Days to Die.
7 days. I thought about adding this to the list, but there are other games out there that I wanted to add more. So tell me about 7 Days to Die.
It's a zombie game.
Zombie game. What do you do in this zombie game?
Do
you die in 7 days? What happens?
You could if you want to. I mean, you can set your settings to so you don't have to die in 7 days. You can die in 30 days if you want.
Okay, so what she means by that is there is a zombie horde that by default comes every 7 days. Blood Moon Rises, sort of like in Terraria. Another open world game I like, but not on my list. And this blood moon happens and zombies just swarm you, and you can set it so that it's 30 days every wave, or by default it's 7. You can also adjust if they walk or run, or which ones run during the day, which ones at night, that kind of thing. You can do a lot of server settings. It's a lot of fun, and you can even have the game randomly generate a map for you. It takes a while. But they can do it. The Navis game map is fine, though. That's the default map. So what did you like about this game?
I just love the horror aspect, because even though the graphics are a little bit
Minecrafty?
still kind of, yeah, just a little bit
blocky.
There's some surprise attacks that can happen if you're not very careful when you're exploring a building or a house.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always very frightening.
I typically, it's when I walk into a room, I know now to look at every cupboard that's shut, because if you walk by it, you'll hear and this thing will blow, and then these zombies will come flying. Or you'll be walking along into a bedroom, and then all of a sudden a zombie lands on your head, and you look up, there's a giant hole in the ceiling where the attic is, and they're just falling down on. So you need to learn to look for these things. Packs of dogs will just randomly come at you. Various things, and depending on what biome you're into, you'll encounter different enemies. Like the lumberjack zombies are like in the winter one, and there's various biomes where you'll find different resources. I love again, I'm a pack rat in this game. I build a bunch of storage chests, and you can organize to your heart's content.
Yeah.
It's multiplayer, so it's good that way too. Fallout 4 is not, but this
Yeah.
game is. It's good. I enjoy this one.
It's a grind. I like the questing. They have like little like trader quests that you can do.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know. I come back to it with default settings sometimes just to see how far I can actually make it, excuse me.
Mhm.
Because at night it's actually quite scary.
It
You
is.
actually have to take shelter at night whether or not you built a base up. And the zombies will wreck you.
Yeah, they will.
They
Um,
will
I have
you.
a.
They will chase after you. Sorry. Go
No, you're
ahead.
fine. Go ahead. I had a quick story about my very first experience with 7 Days to Die. I had never played it before. It was early alpha, and this game has been in development for several years, and it's still alpha. But
Mhm.
anyway, my very first experience with it, I found a giant town. I picked a corner house somewhere. I'm like, oh, I'm fine here. And then at night, I hear bang, bang. I've got these zombies underneath me. I'm sitting there building blocks, blocking the stair. So basically, I'm in this attic of this house, and I boxed myself in because I was too scared to come out. There is a window, luckily, so I can sort of look out the window and see what's going on. And I'm like, I'm gonna be up here for a while. So I eventually built these dirt blocks to where I could grow food. So I'm sitting there just growing these blueberries and just feasting on them every now and again. My character wasn't gonna make it. I knew
Yeah.
it. But like my very first experience, it was on default settings. The zombies do run at night, as opposed to the day where they just sort of shamble. Different zombie types have different speeds and the like. But yeah, it was on occasion you'll come across wildlife too, like wolves or bears. Very scary. What's cool is that you can become infected, and then you need like honey or some kind of antibiotic, or you die. So there is like a status effect thing going on with you. There's also an extensive RPG system in this game where you find skill books in the environment. You can learn new recipes that way. But there's also, as you put points into your attributes and into your skills, you can learn new recipes. Like one person can be focused on like engineering, which lets you build various workbenches and be the blacksmith and that kind of thing. Then you've got someone else that can build vehicles for you, like bikes and gyrocopters and jeeps, that kind of thing. You
Mhm.
can have another person focused purely on combat. They can wreck anyone with either a bladed weapon or a two-handed blunt weapon. You can specialize in these things. It's a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
love this game. The problem is that every time it updates, you lose your progress, so you got to start
Mhm.
over. And
Yeah.
it's a very grindy game to begin with. So unless you set the XP multiplier high up there, you're not going to make any progress by the time the next patch hits, unless you play it religiously every day.
Mhm.
But anyway, so anything else to say about 7 Days before we move
It's a
on?
fun.
It is a fun game. I approve. There's a learning curve, but it is a fun game for sure.
Yeah.
Number 4, we had the same entry for number 4. So, tell me about Subnautica.
It's the worst, best horror game there ever is.
Now, why do you consider it a horror game?
I think I've said this at least 2 or 3 times in previous podcast episodes, but man, I hate deep water. It is so scary, and this game is so immersive. It actually makes you feel as if you're in the ocean and you're struggling to survive, and there's all these like it's just the unknown. Like you see like the smokiness, the fogness in the deep ocean, and you just don't know what's out there.
The water
It is
effects
so
are so
creepy.
good. Like the
Yes.
underwater, it's clear, like you can see things, but like you can actually feel the sound and the bubbles that you hear whenever you're breathing in your apparatus. Like all of it is so, like you said, immersive. It's so
Hmm.
good. And then of course there's a survival element should you decide to toggle it on. You can just do health if you want, but if you wanted added layers, you could add food and water, and then you have to like catch fish, bring them back, cook them, find other fish that you can turn into water, cook that. And then there's a base building mechanic, which is fantastic. I love that
Yeah.
about this game. I love building a base. You can eventually get like jet things that you can hold on to, and it's like those old spec ops underwater, like those portable jets that you can ride in the water, whatever they're
Hmm.
called. And then you can get a submarine, a huge submarine, which is great. Yeah, it's what's crazy about this is that when you first start playing it and you get immersed, you're afraid of everything at first. You don't want to leave your little escape pod. You leave your escape pod, you see a fish swim and go, oh my god, what is that? Or what is this? What is that? What is this? There's a yellow puffer fish coming at me. It's yelling, it's going to blow. Oh my god, it just blew up. You know, you don't know what to expect. And then you enter a different biome, and then you see this giant, massive creature just swimming, and you're like, oh my god. Is this friendly, or what is this? I don't even know anymore. So discovery and exploration in this game is terrifying when you don't know. What you don't know is your biggest fear in this game, I think. Like, once you know what everything is, then it's not so bad because you know what to expect. But when you don't know what to expect in a game like this, it is horrifying if you get immersed.
I know what's in the seaweed biome, that green biome.
Yeah.
And I still have trouble getting in there. I know that it has like these alligators that really aren't so bad if you have a fish and you can like tame them, but just the color, like your surrounding area, it's just creepy. Like, I know that there's no enemies in there. It's just so creepy. And I have like I started over in this game so many times, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go out and venture into the vast ocean. And I can never do it. I can never go past like the second biome. And I turned off, I think I turned on like God mode or something, and I finally just took my little jet and I just went out there, and I got so terrified. I can't. Even in God mode, it was so terrifying.
Well, if you're afraid of underwater to begin with, like, you're facing a big fear, like whatever, underwater phobia, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I did beat this game. So I enjoyed it all the way through. I didn't know what the heck was going on half the time because it felt like I was finding things out of order. Like, this game does not handhold you. So, I mean, you're expected to read the notes that you get. Like, there's no quest marker to tell you where to go next. It's just, here's an open world, figure out where to go next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or stumble upon it. And then, like, toward, like, middle end, there's this cave, and, like, there's only 2 entrances, and unless you know where to look for it, you could spend an hour trying to find it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's the downfall of this game, I think.
There's no map. There's no map. You have to use an out-of-game map.
I hate that. I hate that there's no map. There's no... I mean, some people wouldn't mind that because they like the challenge. Yeah. But I want the option, at least the option, to turn on quest markers because, you know, I'm not too proud to say that, you know, I don't mind hand-holdy games sometimes, you know?
Right.
Because I'm a casual player.
I like hand-holdy to a point. I don't want the game playing for me, but I expect quality of life options should I want them. And I expect those options to be turned off or turned on as I see fit. That way the hardcore player can be as hardcore as they want and the casual player can be as casual as they want. That's just my take. I think every game should have something like that. Yeah. If it's not in there, give us the option to turn it on or off. But anyway... I digress.
Oh, the nighttime is just, oh my god, I can't even.
The sunset, and yeah, at night when you're underwater and it's dark and you can't see anything, you've got your little flashlight. Yeah, sure, that'll help. Yeah, that'll scare away the monsters, right? This little flashlight. So anyway, I liked Subnautica. I kind of enjoyed the follow-up Below Zero, but I did not care for that game as much as I cared for the original. I think
Really?
Yeah, Below Zero introduced some new things, but what it did introduce, I didn't like. It introduced the land parts of the game. The game is called Subnautica. Underwater, below sea level, Subnautica, and yet you're expected to go on this ice land, walk around, and find stuff. I hated that. Without a map, again, it was very tedious. It was just annoying. I like that the developer was trying to do something different, but I don't think those above water parts were done very well, in my opinion. I enjoyed the base building in that, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
So I guess we're ready to move on to number 3, huh? All right, well, let's do that. My number 3 entry was State of Decay 2. State of Decay 2 is a zombie survival game. It's third person as opposed to first person like 7 Days. The reason why I like this so much is because I have a big history with State of Decay. When I played State of Decay 1, there was, I think, the second DLC that came out. I don't remember the name of it, but it basically opened up a sandbox mode that let you play the same map over and over again, and you could actually like prestige to the same map but like start over. It would just become more difficult and more difficult and more difficult. But I enjoyed the open-endedness of it. It allowed me to build my own base as I saw fit. State of Decay 2 sort of expanded on that particular mode and rather make a story out of it. There is a story mode in this, but the main game now is like you pick one of like 5 or 6 maps, and it's open world. You do what you want. You've got a different, you meet different survivors, you get them into your camp, you can specialize them in different skills, and based on the skills that your people have, you can build different structures within your base, whether they be farms or, and if you do build a farm, you can sort of specialize it in either food or medicine. So you can, again, depending on what benefits your crew has. But I love the looting in this game. I love that, there's cars and vehicles, and there's, these vehicles have maintenance that you have to worry about. One thing I miss from State of Decay 1, in State of Decay 1, you could actually get I think it was a mechanic skill, and all you had to do was park your cars in your parking spots, and they would automatically repair if you had like a garage and a mechanic or whatever it was, and these cars would automatically repair. In this game, you're forced to craft repair kits. I hate that. Because they're a limited supply. So I miss the auto repair feature from State of Decay 1. Cars are overpowered, so maybe they did that on purpose to balance things. I don't know. What did you think of State of Decay? Or State of Decay 2, I should say. Did you enjoy your time?
It's in my honorable mentions. I was actually going to put this as my number 5, but I didn't, because all the things that I hate about State of Decay 2, I really, really hate. I love this game.
Tell me, what do you hate about it?
Okay, first, let me give the compliments. I love this game. I can actually play this for hours on end and have fun with it. But man, there's something missing. There's a charm missing. State of Decay 1 had a great nostalgic feeling, I think, but it also had a really smooth gameplay, I think, that State of Decay 2 is missing. Mm-hmm. There's some bugs that really tick me off in State of Decay 2 in multiplayer and single player. I hate the fact that you just said you said that the cars aren't repaired automatically. Mm-hmm. But I hate that they're so flimsy now. They really are. You crash into like 3 fences and they're already like almost totaled.
They're smoking, yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand that. In the first one, I had the time of my life holding open the door and like knocking zombies out of the way in the highway.
Splat, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and here, if you do that, your door will come right off after like only 2 zombie hits or so. And it was really frustrating because I liked my cars. I liked my cars in State of Decay 1, and I was really hopeful with State of Decay 2 cars. But when I found out that they weren't as great, mm-hmm. I like the looting in this game too, but I don't like the crafting in it, if that makes any sense.
I understand. The crafting can be a little weird at times. Like you have to click on the structure, and then it gives you a list of things you can do with it. Mm-hmm. And you need a lot of materials so that you can repair it. There's durability in this game, so as you use a weapon, you have to keep repairing it with materials or parts or whatever they're called. Mm-hmm. The multiplayer, I mean, there's no multiplayer in 1, but there is in 2. I like that. It is unstable at times, though.
It's tethered. That's so frustrating. The fact that it's a tether is so stupid to me. It is so stupid to me that you can't really... The multiplayer is so asinine because it's not really a multiplayer experience. It's more of like a helper experience.
Right.
Your person that joins you cannot also have a base. And they're just basically there to help you get resources, and that's it. And
Like,
that's really annoying to me.
in 7 Days to Die, like one person could choose, I'm going to pick that house as my base, and I'm going to put a claim block right here. And then you can say, I'm going to put a house over here and build up that, and I'm going to put my claim block over here. Or you can decide to move in together. In this game, like you said, it's more of a helper situation where you're helping the main host do their thing. What's cool is that there's instance loot where, like, you can only see things that you can loot, and your friends can see. So everything is yours, which is nice. There's no like item stealing. You can also drop stuff for your friends too. I like that. But like you said, the game does have problems. I enjoy the, okay, I'm low on food. I got to figure out how to get food. I need to loot this location. Yeah. There's a zombie horde over here, or there's a building over here I need to clear out, or the thrill of going into a house with your, sneakily or stealthily taking out zombies one by one. And then you've got your special infected in this game, which is sort of like Left 4 Dead, and that, there's like a boomer, but this is like a juggernaut, I think they're called in this game, where they just wreck everything. I guess they're more like a tank. And then you've got like armored zombies, which can take a lot of hits. So you
screamers.
Want the screamers, well, right? You've got the feral. That is the hunter from Left 4 Dead. So, there are special infected in this game too. And the game gets harder the more of those plague hearts you take out. But the progression is kind of cool. Like, whenever you beat the game, you pick a leader type, and there's 4 different types of leaders. And when you beat the game as that leader, you get the bonus of that leader for your next map, or the option to choose it. You can have up to 2 leader boons going into the next map. So if you've gotten all 4 by playing 4 playthroughs, you can choose 2 of them and then go into the next playthrough with bonuses. The engineer, I think, boon, for example, whatever it's called, I think gives you free electricity and water for your base, where typically you would need to put structures down or put mods in to support electricity and water, or get outposts that have it.
That's another thing I don't really like. Like, the base building is fine, but it's so limiting.
Yeah,
like,
you can only have 3 or 4 outposts. I don't like that.
And like, I don't know, it's just so static, and there's something so dead about it.
Okay. Wow, put that on the box.
I feel like the developers just kind of came up with an idea and really didn't try to expand on it. They just kind of went, okay, well, this is good enough, And I think that's kind of a really, how do they say it? A mark on the hit on the mark.
Sure.
How do they say it?
It's a stone in the bush. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love the survival aspect. The gameplay is fine. I do love that you get like a whole ton of people to kind of babysit, sort of, or like look after, I guess, and you have to try and protect them.
But there's a max of 8 or 9 though. Like, you can cheese it, but you typically can only get like, I think 8 to 10 people max or something like that. It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, but those people matter because of their attributes, and they make the base better, I guess, in some way. It's a fun game. Like, I will come back to this and play it, but it just gets me so mad because of the decisions, I guess, that the developers came up with.
It could be better, no doubt, but I still have so much playtime in this game, it's ridiculous. Just because I enjoy building up the best base I can possibly get, looting every single building, having my inventory overflowing. I love stuff like that. So I like the challenge of this game personally. I've never lost in this game, but
I've lost, and it's actually kind of cool to see the zombies rip you apart.
Ooh. Okay.
But it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it sucks because like when you're out and about, your inventory is so limited that like. In State of Decay 1, you could actually call someone to go, hey, come by and pick this up. And they would come and get, I guess, the loot or whatever it was. Like, it was a bag. In this game, like, there's no way to, like, bring a bunch of people with you and tell them to pick all of these items up. Yeah, you can put stuff in the trunk of your car, but even then, like, you're still limited by what you can carry. So, I wish there were better, like, I wish I could mark a location for looting, and then all of my people would just go out and pick it clean, and then I don't have to worry about making multiple trips to get everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's just some life that's missing from State of Decay 2.
A lot of features, I think. There's a lot of missed opportunities here, in my opinion. All right, well, we talked about this long enough.
Yeah.
What was your number 3?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Another one that I wanted to add to my list. I also beat this one, but yeah, tell me about Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I love this game so much, but I haven't had time to play it, which stings because now because I haven't played it in so long, I kind of want to start over, and I don't want to start over.
That's gonna take another several months
know.
of progress. There, I'm just saying, it took me a long time to beat this.
You said that it was pretty easy to get back into, so I'm hopeful for that, right? So, yeah, but oh my gosh, I love this game. It's massive. It's a massive world, and there's just so many quests and so many side quests, and it's just so, I don't know, I just feel so immersed in it. Like, I feel like I'm actually that person, and I'm going around, like, I feel terrible for saying this, but I feel like I'm actually needlessly killing people.
Wow.
Oh my God,
Well, you are an
it's
assassin, but I mean, how do you feel about the whole, like, do you do a stealth approach or do you go in guns a-blazing?
Oh no, I go stealth first. And then if I'm caught, then I go guns blazing.
Okay. Well, there's no guns a-blazing per se, but you're
a-blazing.
Swords a-blazing. Yes. I do the same thing. There's 3 skill trees in this game, and you can sort of focus on a particular style, but you can put points into all of them should you choose to. I like this. I like the stealthy sneak up to this guy, take him out, then go stealth this guy, and then my arrow, my archery, I can just take him out from a distance. I love that. Yeah. There's also sea combat in this game where you get your own ship. And they sing as you row into the high seas. And then if you come across an enemy ship, you can shoot them out of the water, or you can like wreck into them, board them, and then you turn into melee. You jump over to their ship and just start trying to take it over. Typically, though, you loot what they have, and then it sinks, and then you go back to your ship. But you can upgrade your ship, you can upgrade your person, you can upgrade your armor. There's multiple ways to do that. There's an arena in this game that you can play in. As she mentioned already, there's multiple quests that you can embark on. It'll keep you busy for quite some time.
The stories are fantastic. My gosh. And then I know that there's like a community thing where people can do like their own stories. I haven't even touched that yet. I'm still like on the main story and on the other side stories that unlock because of the main story, and I'm trying to finish those because those can actually go away. If you progress too much in the main story, those like important side stories will actually disappear. So it's taking me so long to finish this, but oh, I'm so invested in like what the heck happens to these people.
Did you partake in the battles between Red and Blue at Spartans and the?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So where you pick a side and you battle for that side. It's like all these people fighting, and then you have to kill the captain, then kill the boss, and then you win if you win the fight, then that land is taken over by either Red or Blue, depending on what side you're on, and you get bonuses for doing that, loot and stuff.
It's hard sometimes. Like, it's actually really difficult for me sometimes.
You gotta be quick.
And every time I lose, I always, like, reload the game because I don't like losing those battles at all.
How'd you feel about the combat? Did you enjoy, like...
I enjoyed it. I really actually enjoyed it. Sometimes I would get paired up with someone who was so much stronger than me, and it would take, like, forever to bring him down, and it is such a satisfying feeling to know that I sliced his head off, at the end. So that's horrible. What kind of a person am I?
Not at all. What weapon did you use?
I think I used my shield and my my sword.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I liked my daggers. They're quick. I could apply poison to one and fire to something like that. I just liked my quick attacks, just so I can get in there, get out. You know what I mean? But I still like my archery. Take them out from a distance.
Yeah, the archery's okay. I like my shield bash. I think my shield bash was awesome because it stuns them, and then like you just like take the shield, like smack them right in the face.
And what about the Spartan kick? Did you overuse that like everyone else and just like kick them off cliffs and stuff? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's just way overused. It's over.
Yeah. Hey, it's pretty powerful, you know?
I liked the bounty system where like you have a list of all the different uniquely named people, champions, whatever, and as you found them in the environment and took them out, you would advance in rank, so to speak, in reputation. That was kind of cool. So, sometimes you come across this level 30 whatever and you're only level 15, you're like, oh, I'm going to stay away from him, but I'll be back for you. And then and you're level 30 now, then there you are. So there's like a, I don't know, it's kind of cool just seeing these named people come up from time to time. And the side plot with the whole cultists, that was really cool. You had to find them and kill them all.
Yeah. When I come across like one of those bounty hunters that are looking for me at such a high level, it is so creepy and I have to like run away from them. There was one time where I jumped in the water and he fell in the water after me. So when I got back up on the pier, I kept kicking him right off the water and like right off the pier into the water until he drowned. It was pretty hilarious.
Seriously? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that works.
Yeah.
Hey, there are no rules in war, you know what I mean? Just
it was so frightening, but then I was like, yes, you're gonna drown, you son of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a beautiful game. I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of want to replay this, but I just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, you still have to beat Star Wars Battlefront story.
Well, I've beat the original until they added new stuff. But yeah, they added new stuff since I last stopped playing.
Yep.
So, all right. So I guess that's Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We'll move on to number 2. My number 2 was Ark Survival Evolved. There are some things that I do not like about this game, but that being said, it is so beautiful and immersive. And again, this brings me back to another like first time playing story where I've never played this game before. I just learned how to craft an axe or whatever, and now I've got this little hut on the beach, and there are dinosaurs outside that are friendly. Some are mean, and I'm freezing to death. How do I fix that? Now I've got 1 meat left. How do I go out and get more food? I'm sitting there trying to figure all this stuff out. Fast forward to today where I have several hundred hours in it. Now I'm building 2-story locations and I've got these griffins that I'm riding around. I had no idea how to do this way back when, but like the journey there as I continued learning stuff in this game was fun. And even still, like, there's stuff I've never seen before. I think the last time we played in the Ragnarok map, you had brought me to like, there was a place, it was like a lava place, and then you showed me this monster that I'd never seen before. It shot electricity at people, I can't remember.
Oh, the dragons.
The dragons and stuff, yeah. The wyverns. Was it a wyvern?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was something like that. So. And then you get to the underwater part, where, there's great white sharks that you can tame. The taming in this game is so much fun. I just want to keep a zoo. That's all I care. I just want to make a zoo of all these animals. You put a little feeding box in and everything around it gets fed. I just wish there was more control over what you could do. And, yes, there are some server settings that you can adjust. But like you said, there's tethering in this, I think. You have to make your own server, though, if you don't want that. And I don't want to learn how to... I want to learn how to do it, but I just don't know how. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
I learned how to do it, and now that I have it set up and everything, I can just press a button and it'll host the server for me, so it's fine. Mm-hmm. So I can do that.
Us old people, just
Yeah.
saying. What do you like or dislike about Ark?
This was actually in my honorable mentions. The only reason why it's not in my top 5 is because I want to beat it and I want to get better at it. Because I don't know why I'm so bad at this game. Like, I die way too often. I think I'm just like kind of reckless and I go in there with meat ablazing, I guess.
The meat ablazing, yes.
Meat ablazing. And I want to explore, even though it's a scary game, I want to explore, and in doing so I'm not very careful about it and I die almost instantaneously. But I love this game. I love this game so much. I want to keep exploring it. I hate the base building with a passion in this game.
I like building a base, but I dislike stuff doesn't sometimes like underwater fence building, for example. I'm trying to build a pen for my sharks. Doing this is almost near impossible. Telling them to stay put doesn't always work. They'll just go off on their own. So you build a pen for your sharks, and you end up taking several days trying to grind out materials that you need to build these underwater. It's just annoying. Sometimes the game does not let you build things where you want to build them, and it just doesn't work right. Trying to get the OCD to line up just right is almost near impossible sometimes.
Yeah, and like you need to have like foundation support, and sometimes when you're trying to build like a base high, that's like high like on the sky or underwater, the ground is way too low, and you just can't survive enough to build, the foundation, just the foundation. I remember I have stories about this game. Take like, for example, a whole day taming a T-Rex, or
That's ridiculous.
I remember my first ever tame was actually an alligator that my friends helped me tame, and that took like half a day. It was insane.
You have to sit there and feed it, and then when you lose the stupid thing over something stupid, you get so mad.
Oh man, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I lost him like almost immediately after I tamed him after so long.
Man, that sucks.
And what stinks is that I probably could have gotten him back if I chose to jump off the cliff into the water after him, but I wasn't going to do that because I'm scared of the water in this game. It is too terrifying.
Understandable.
So yeah. I remember, I don't know, was it with you? I don't remember, but there was a Triceratops that was lost. And that was really disappointing because we spent a ton of time taming him and we lost him. And 3 days later, 3 real life days later, he actually came back from the jungle, like just
out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. It was insane.
I don't remember if that was us or not. We had our settings so that we would tame it faster.
Yeah.
So that we wouldn't have to deal with that BS. But yeah, I'm one of those people where I don't like it super easy where if I punch a tree, I'm level 100 already. However, I do think that if you're playing solo or with two people, you need to make the server a little bit more generous in its XP and stuff so that it's not so grindy. Because this game was meant for large communities to work together to do things.
Yeah.
With only one or two people, it's going to take you forever on default.
Yeah.
There's no shame in upping XP gain and other things to make it more manageable.
So I put myself, like I put my server settings all the way up, and I put, this is single player. I played single player, and I put myself on God mode and fly mode. And I actually kind of spoiled myself, and I went underwater and I saw all these amazing things that I can't even tell you because I'll spoil it for you. So I won't say anything.
I haven't even beaten any of the maps yet.
The underwater will blow your mind. It will absolutely blow your mind. If
Really?
you go deep enough and like far enough, it is a whole different biome in itself. It is insane.
Can't wait. The only issue is like...
It's like Atlantis.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
What I don't like is that, like, the maps... Like, okay, Ragnarok map, you can build this, and then this DLC on this map lets you build this, but you can't, like... You can't take the recipes from one map and bring them over to another map. I hate that. Mm-hmm. It's so stupid. I don't know.
They have, like, different currency, I think, on, like, each island or something. Isn't it?
Something like that. It's like the blue and the red and the green gems or whatever they were. I can't remember. They're like blue, red, and green or something like that. Mm-hmm. But
I love the maps, though. I love all the maps. I know there's the one that you hated because there's hardly any flying creatures.
It's so hard. It's so difficult.
Cliffs. Yeah, I don't know. I liked it.
I like the look of it. I hate how difficult it was. Mm-hmm. It was just so unforgiving.
The difficulty in this game is definitely a turnoff.
It is. Well, I mean, with the server settings set right, you can offset that, but still. Yeah. I do like I like exploring in this game because I'm always coming across something that's new and unique. And, there's a creature I've never seen before. This biome is all new. Or, when we were playing on Ragnarok forever, and then we finally got into the snow biome. Wow, this is a completely new area. Oh, there's oil? What's oil? I've never seen that before. Oh, there's a cave full of wolves.
Penguins, too.
Yes, like, the penguins. Yeah, that was cool. What's this organic material that they drop or whatever? You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I like that. You're always seeing something new in this. And then we went and explored the one castle, and there's all these beetles in there or something.
Oh my god, the bats.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember that.
yeah, bats or beetles, one of the two. Yeah. I'm like, I've never seen those before. That's creepy.
The water in this game, I think, is probably scarier than Subnautica, just because you cannot see anything on the surface. But as soon as you dip your head in, you see like everything, well, almost everything. It's still foggy, but it is so murky and it is so creepy. And I hate when you're flying over water and there's nothing. It's like black or dark blue or red. I've actually seen the water turn red. It was ugh.
I remember when we first played this a long time ago, we built this god-awful makeshift raft, and we got onto the water, and this giant sea creature, Leviathan thing, I don't know what it was, but it was like, you were screaming bloody murder. We were trying to get away from it. It was just hilarious. It was just
Do we
one
have
of the...
that on video?
I don't know. We'd have to try and find it. But yeah,
I think it was a friendly fish too, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a friendly one?
I have no idea. I don't
Oh
remember.
my
It was the map with the giant arch. It was on a beach,
Oh
sand.
my
Remember the
God,
giant
yeah.
arch? Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
okay.
I hate that map. I hate that area at least. But I think that's supposed to be the easy part of that map.
Yeah.
The plesiosaurs, they're like one of the bigger fish, I think. Or the bigger monsters, and their face just looks really creepy. It looks stupid, like kind of like if you go close up, but it's still freaky to me. And then the squids. Have you ever seen the big giant squids?
Vague. It's been a while, but maybe. Anyway,
Sorry,
that good. Okay.
I could go on. Like,
I'm sure.
I love the game. I love it, but it gives me nightmares. It actually does.
I wish it weren't so disk base intensive.
Yeah.
Whenever this game patches, I have to wait like 3 days because it wants to update 80 gigs of disk space. I'm like, really? It's just a patch. Why do you need to update 80 gigs? It's one of the biggest games in my library when it comes to disk space. But I do want to reinstall it at some point. But again, it's such a hog.
Yeah.
Anyway. So with that being said, we'll move on to your number 2, which was what?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. I want to put this on my list too. Just didn't have room. So tell me about No Man's Sky.
Man, this game, I guess, has come a long way. I first played it after they fixed it. So I was blessed in that sense, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of pissed off people when this game first launched. And 75% of the features that were promised were never in the game. There was the promise that, oh yeah, you should be able to run into other people, no problem. And nope. So eventually they made it, proper multiplayer, and they just continued adding. Like, this is one of the biggest redemption stories I've ever seen in a game like this, where the game got such crap when it launched, and such hate and such backlash. Hello Games did a fantastic job. They kept their head down, they kept plugging away. Their mistake was releasing it too soon. That was their problem. And they should have released it early access and not just released it. That was their biggest mistake. But anyway, they added and they continue to release new stuff for it. I can't keep up with it. I want to keep playing this. I've never managed. I never got to the middle of the center of the galaxy or whatever I'm supposed to get to. I've never jumped beyond, say, 10 planets. So I'm still very much, I'm more in it for the base building and stuff. I'm treating it like Ark and other games like Fallout, in the sense that I'm staying in my general area and just building up my base. Then once I've got a lot of resources, then I'll venture toward the middle. But for
man, I can't do that. I'm trying to do that, but I can't. I get distracted. Oh, a shiny thing. Oh, a shiny thing. Oh, there's a story here. Oh, there's another little story here. This translation. There's just so much to this game that's so addicting, I think.
Yeah, it's inventory management, the game, though.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Go ahead, continue.
It's just the inventory management is so disappointing because I feel like I have to constantly throw stuff away and it hurts my heart.
At least until you upgrade your backpack and you get better ships and like you can like I get that fine, but at the same time like it's like you said it's constantly like I need carbon, I need iron, I need this, I need that, I need to recharge, I need this to recharge this, I need this to recharge this. My gun is out of power, so now I need to get this. Okay, I got that. No, but now I need to use my gun and the charge that's now full to get this material so I can recharge my oxygen. Oh, now I need to recharge my temperature, whatever. It's just, there's so many, it's like one leads to the other, which leads to now I'm this one big loop of using resources, and you know what I mean? It's just... It's tedious after a while. I wish I could slow that down a bit and focus more on exploration and building. You know what I mean?
I wish that this game did have a map. You can chart things, and there is sort of like a galaxy map, but I wish you could have like an actual piece of paper map and draw routes or draw little like things like where you've been, things like that. The compass up overhead gets way too crowded very easily. And that's kind of frustrating. But this game is so immersive, and I love the flying. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite spaceship flying type of games.
I like that you could go into space and shoot asteroids and get materials that way if you want. Or every planet has a different slew of resources. So, you know, you might need to set up a small outpost on this base, put like a little Stargate down, as I call them, and you know, that way you can portal back and forth between your main base and the outpost and get resources. I like stuff. I love stuff like that. But I don't, you know, I eventually have to get to the exploration. But typically I do more of the resource gathering and stuff. I like to get my economy going first. You know?
There's so much that we haven't even touched yet with this game. Like the underwater, the big desert sandworms, like there's just so much. And
do you take pictures and stuff with your, or you identify all the animals and the plants? Do you bother doing all that?
I do. And I heard that I heard a tip that there's specific like equipment that you can buy that makes it so that every picture that you take can actually earn you like 1 million credits each. Yeah, so you can get rich just by doing that.
There's a mod that you can put. I haven't played this game in a while, so I don't know if it's still a thing. But yeah, there's a mod that you can put on your camera, whatever it is, your person, so that you get more money per scan.
Not a Steam Workshop mod, just like a mod like in game.
Right, in game, right. One that you can buy from the shop. Right.
Yeah.
With credits or whatever.
I love that they implemented challenges too, like for the whole community. So you can actually, if you go to like this huge community hub, there's these different types of quests that you can actually partake in with other people or by yourself. And it can be either like explore this area or try to get this type of treasure or something like that. And that's pretty fairly new. I've only participated in it once, and I failed miserably because I just wasn't high enough level. Like I'm just such a newbie at this still, but I can't wait to get back into this. The landing really makes it feel as if I'm in a spaceship, like taking off and then landing or flying like above the surface of the planet, trying to find where to land. It's just so much fun.
I don't like that to take off. It's 25% of your like fuel or whatever it is, so like you constantly have to keep refueling.
I land on landing zones. I never not land on landing zones.
Yeah.
So I don't really have that problem. And you can even build your own landing zone too, so that you don't have to use up fuel like that. You know. So
but I like I can see in the video there's terrain manipulation. That's cool. I like that too.
That's insane. It's insane what you can do in this game.
Not a fan of multiplayer, keeping that on because I don't need griefers, but still, like I love.
Yeah. I'm sorry, real quick. What's cool though is that you can play single player, I guess, and you don't have to have people in your playthrough. Like, you won't have griefers if you set like an option to play like a single player game, because those people will show up as little white dots, which is actually kind of cool. So you don't ever have to worry about that. Like I remember I came into this area and there was like little white dots everywhere, and I'm like, oh, I think that's like people who are playing in multiplayer. So that was actually kind of cool.
Neat. All right. Anything else to say before we move on to our number one?
Oh, this game is so grindy, though. But
it is grindy. It's a resource grind for sure.
Yeah. All right, that's it.
All right, moving on to our number one entry, which was actually the same. Skyrim. Was there any doubts? In fact, behind me is a picture of, it's a Skyrim desktop background kind of thing. I don't know what it is. This game was fantastic when it released, and it is still fantastic today. It holds up so well. I could spend hours just walking around the environment and just taking in the sights. Very rarely do I stop in a video game, look at the graphics in front of me, and go, wow, that is amazing. I'm just going to sit here and appreciate this. Skyrim does this to me on a regular basis. And of course, I like medieval stuff. Like, I like the knights and the archers and the peasants and the medieval, era. And that's how I feel here. In addition to that, there's magic. If I want to be an archer, I can be an archer. I can be a stealth archer where sneak up, kill them, sneak attack damage, that kind of thing. Or I can turn that all into Arcana and be Emperor Palpatine, lightning from both hands. Or I can do fire from one, cold or frost from the other one. I can summon skeletons from the ground as a conjurer. I could be an earth. I could summon elementals or whatever. I don't know. There's so much you can do with the magic in this game. It's crazy. There's side professions like blacksmithing, and you can craft. Also, you can find ore in the environment like you can in, say, World of Warcraft or any RPG. Smelt that in a smelter and then use that to create swords and then sell them. My favorite thing to do in this game is to explore, loot, and then level everything up. Like all my professions. But my favorite build is my stealth archer. Nothing's more satisfying. There's 3 guys there. I'm just from a far distance, just pointing, and then you see the arrow cam just jab into the guy, and he's just sneak attack, 2.5 extra damage, whatever it is. It's just satisfying. I love that. But I love that the game lets you switch off as you want. Since it's your number one entry, why don't you tell me, like, what brings you to all this?
I love it. I spent so many hours on this game that my dad wanted to throw my computer out the window. He hated this. He hated me.
I don't know.
Like 72 hours just playing Skyrim constantly. And I feel like
I have a clip of that, actually. Of your computer flying out the window. Anyway, go ahead.
So, like, it's crazy because the amount of time that I spent in this game, I'm still, like, not even close to finishing it. Because all I'm doing is questing and looting and exploring. I'm not even, like, I don't know, like, I'm not really hardcore into, like, trying to complete the main storyline. I'm just trying to, like, take things piece by piece. And it's taking forever. But it's so much fun, and I love... I don't know. I just love the role-playing aspect. I'm not a big role player person, I think. But I love this. Like, this whole RPG thing is just amazing. And I don't know. I like going into the buildings, seeing, like, all the new stuff that I haven't seen before. Oh my gosh, is that a spider?
It's a spider. Yeah, it's electronic spider.
That's nasty.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's an underground. It's like dwarven constructs, is what they are. They give you some real good loot, though. Really expensive loot.
It's just the thing that's mind-boggling to me is that I choose one character and then I want to play throughout the whole thing with that one character. Then I want to start over into the next character, like do a new class, and then I want to start over into the next class. And I know I'm never going to be able to do that, but I want to.
Really? That would take me forever. You can level them up, though, individually. You know what I mean? You don't have to, like I said, you don't... If you want to switch characters, you can, like, just types. Like, if you want to go from archer to melee, you can.
I meant like the race. Like the
race like the digit... or whatever they're called.
Yeah, the snake Breton one, the reptilian, the Norwegian or whatever. Like, I want to play as all of them, and it's so sad that I can't. But the looting system isn't really that great, so I'm not too...
It's because by default the UI sucks. Let's just get that out there. Sorting your stuff, and like, you really need mods in order to be able to sort, filter, and manage your inventory. By default, it sucks. It really does. You have some filtering in your main inventory, but let's say you're trying to move stuff over to a chest, or stuff is already in a chest and you're trying to filter that. By default, the game doesn't support any of that. So it's very frustrating. So mods definitely help with this.
I'm waiting for a sale for Skyrim because I don't even have the game, and I played on your family share, and I played it on a friend's family share, and I fell in love with it so much.
Do you have a particular weapon that you like to use, or?
I don't remember, to be honest. I've never actually done. Wait, no, that might be a lie. I think I did once the flame thing, like from your hand. Mm-hmm. Was it like a flame shooting? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think there's a firebolt that you can shoot, but there's also like flames that you can use as well. So yeah, I mean, so you were mage oriented.
Kind of. I was like, I had a sword in one hand and like mage on my right hand, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure, at least. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's fantastic. I like the stories. Like the stories, like when I'm doing all the quests and stuff. And I like that there's so many different paths that you can take too. You could become like a vampire or a werewolf or something.
That's what I was thinking of earlier. Yeah, you can actually become vampire, werewolf. There's actually like sometimes a quest will take you underground into a nest of vampires, and if they use their blood sucking thing on you or their magic on you, you can get infected. You can cleanse it, or you can maintain your vampirism, and during the day it's like you're weakened, but at night like you've got these supernatural abilities or something. I've never actually done it. Werewolf, same thing. The lycanthropes or whatever. I
think I actually became a werewolf at one point.
Did you enjoy it? Do you remember?
I did. I don't remember. It's been so long, but I think I had like faster movement speed and I could see in the dark, kind of like the Digit, the cat or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to try the family oriented DLC thing. Didn't they have like a family DLC thing where you can actually raise children and have like your own house and craft and like be a lumberman or something?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the DLC, but like they did introduce the ability to like you said, you could adopt kids, get a wife, build a house. Before you could buy homes, and like you get your standard breeze home in the starter town of Skyrim there, or you can pick a different location and build homes there, but you are limited on space, so like you could only build certain rooms. That kind of sucks. So you couldn't build every single room in this game. You had to choose between them. But yeah, I still like that. I like that idea. I think they are making a new Skyrim. Don't quote me on it. But I would love to see like if there was a Skyrim 6, Elder Scrolls 6, where it kept this formula but expanded on it tenfold. That's an instant buy for me. Sorry. You know what I mean? Make the UI better, make inventory management easier, that kind of thing. But but keep the exploration and keep the fun, keep the different skills and the different professions that you could be. But yeah, there's so much to this. Like you'll be walking along, all of a sudden there's a talking dog, Barnabas, that walks up to you. And okay, I guess this is a quest now. So yeah, it's fun. Anything else to say about Skyrim?
No, it's a fantastic, grindy, long, lengthy exploratory, story-rich, driven.
For as old as this game is, it's held up. It really has. This is the best game that Bethesda ever made, I think, to be honest with you. Sure, there's Oblivion, which is Elder Scrolls 4 and the like, but still, I think Skyrim is its crowning achievement if I had to be bold about it. All right. Well, what other games did you have on your honorable mentions? Like, I had Medieval Dynasty, Astroneer, 7 Days, Long Dark, and Slime Rancher. Any other games that you have on your?
I had Kingdom Come Deliverance. I really love that one.
Ah, that's where you start off as like the little peon that you are, and you can't even throw a punch, and you have to that training and that grinding in that game is crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was pretty immersed in that one. I loved the story behind it and like his journey. That was really fun. I had Chernobylite too.
That's kind of open worldy. See, to me, like Chernobylite throws you into these arena style maps, and it's not really open world. It's more like, here's arena map number 1, and now you're going to revisit that sometime later. There is kind of an open world element to it, but I feel like it's more of like an arena map that you're.
Yeah, kind of like Second Extinction, right? Like it has an open world map, but it's not really an open world kind of game.
Yeah, kind of. But I can see where you're going with that, and there's no wrong answer.
Conan Exiles was definitely on my list.
That's
somewhere.
that's poor man's Ark, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like Rust a little bit. I had Rust too on there.
Rust. I have bad vibes. I don't know what it is. Rust rubbed me the wrong way when it came out. PvP. I don't care. I don't want to be tortured or put in a cage. I don't want to do that. I just want to build. Leave me alone.
The single player was fantastic. It was very 7 Days to Die-ish in that sense. Yeah. Without the zombies. But I had Grand Theft Auto 5, I think it was.
That's interesting. Grand Theft Auto, in my youth, I played Grand Theft Auto 3. I had 1 and 2 for like the consoles, like the early consoles, and that was like top down. And then Grand Theft Auto 3 was the more behind third person kind of thing. I played that and I enjoyed it, but I did not play any of the story. All I cared about was just driving around this open environment and finding different cars, and then summoning the military tank and just wiping everything out. That's all I cared to do. Of course, Grand Theft Auto 5 introduced, now there's property that you can buy, and, you can go to the strip club if you want. No, it became too adult and crude for me to really get into. The F word every other... No. Say Holmes, F this, F that. I can't. Sorry. Give me an open world game that's... okay, like Red Dead Redemption 2 was okay. It's Wild West, but... that was more manageable because it wasn't as sweary and crude. But still, yeah.
I understand. I liked Grand Theft Auto 5 because of the gameplay. I definitely didn't like it for the dialogue. Dialogue was trash anyways.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty good game. And then I have New World. I know a lot of people are going to hate. I know. I liked New World.
It was okay. I mean, I played it for several hundred hours or whatever it was. It was okay, but I think it lacked that end game. Like, it lacked certain polish. It lacked certain quality of life that other MMOs had. World of Warcraft had it way better, I think, before it changed into what it is now. But still, New World was a fun journey. Flawed, but fun. But the end game is, like, getting stale.
Yeah, I like the crafting and the grind in New World, honestly. That's kind of about it, to be honest.
I hate fighting for resources in multiplayer MMOs. I really do. Having to get up at 7 a.m. to get to the iron resource, the deposit, before someone else does. It's stupid.
Yeah. The combat was like, whatever, But I don't know. I liked the grind in that game. Then I have Project Zomboid.
That's a good one.
Is pretty open worldy, crafty based building. Valheim. I had Valheim in there.
Too hardcore. Valheim is okay. It's very hardcore, I think. Some people like that. I like the portals. Like, you can't bring certain like iron things through portals, which is stupid in my opinion. Anyway, go ahead.
Monster Hunter World was another one.
Another hardcore one. It's
hard.
It's hard. I don't mind the early parts, but like, how many times can I beat up on Toby Kadashi or whatever his name is to get the resources that I need to make this new sword or whatever it is I'm making? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. Outer Worlds was the other one. And then Dying Light. I love my Dying Light.
Of course you do. It's a lot of parkour in that.
Yeah. Slime Rancher was kind of open worldy, like a farming.
It's cutesy. I like that one.
Don't Starve Together and Factorial and I guess Satisfactory. But those last three, I kind of they're kind of open worldy, but they're more like open world craft.
Yeah, more base. They're more automation focused.
Yeah.
Satisfactory and Factorio. Yeah. Cool. Well, there you go, folks. Top 5 open world games that we know of and have played. I'll quickly go through my Patreon and Twitch supporters. I'm not going to do sales or new releases anymore until I hear otherwise. Typically, these sales are short-lived, and by the time you may get to this podcast, the sales are over. So I'm just wasting my time and wasting your time. So if you guys really want to know new releases and sales, maybe I'll consider it. But just to save on time, I've decided not to do it. Besides, you guys can easily look yourselves. But if there is a game that I really recommend, or you can ask me on Discord. Go to my Discord channel and ask, do you recommend any games right now that are new or on sale? And I'll be happy to look for you and give you some recommendations. So check me out on Discord. And there's even a special Patreon Discord channel that only Patreon people can see and talk to me on. And, that's... it's kind of nice, a nice little outlet there. Anyway, Patreon, speaking of Patreon supporters, Ratsy's pledged $135 for a lifetime of $4,850. I'm hoping, it's the 1st of February, so I'm hoping that these numbers are up to date and correct, but if they're not, I apologize, but they should be. Scotty R pledged $100 for a lifetime of $2,710. Brian pledged $50 for a lifetime of $1,000. Greg Howe pledged $10 for a lifetime of $542. Mindalot pledged $5 for a lifetime of $140. Alyssa Barrett pledged $1 for a lifetime of $16, and Rip Alpha pledged $1 for a lifetime of $57. I sent keys to the top 3 there, so check your emails. Twitch subscribers, $5 a month subscriptions. White Knight has pledged 46 months up to this point, subscribed 46 months. Bessa702, 44 months. Rabid Amoeba, 15. Little Lily P, 14. And Nick Beard, 508. So 8 months. Thank you very much for your support. There's a good possibility that I'll be out of work. I'm basically out of work now. So any support that you can give to help us pay the bills and keep us running and help continue to bring content to you would be most appreciated. So let's go ahead and last thing, Spanish sentence of the month. We'll go ahead and stall so I can find the sound clip. Here we go.
Shut up, Wesley.
All right, so... So I just thought it was fun. Anyway, so she's created this sentence for me, and I have to try and figure it out. It's been getting I don't know why. She's been getting more creative with these to the point where I have no chance in heck of figuring out what this is.
This is an old traditional Spanish tongue twister, and
Pancha plancha con cuatro planchas. And then question, con cuantas planchas plancha. What in the world? The only word I recognize is con, which is with. That's all I know, with. Is that right? Tell me that's right, please.
Yeah.
It's con with.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And
very good.
But cuatro, that's not the number 4. It's a Q, right? Cuatro is Q. So what's cuatro?
No, you're right.
Is it? I thought cuatro was
4.
Quatro. Cuatro.
No.
It's C. Okay. So with 4. So plancha.
You got this.
You know what? I'm just gonna say that poncho with 4 ponchos. With 4
What's the
poncho
first word?
pancha.
Right.
Poncho.
It's capitalized, right?
Yeah, but it's the first word of a sentence.
Okay, what about the second sentence? The question mark sentence.
Ponch is a name.
Okay.
So this is one of those stupid Sally sells shells by the seashore kind of thing.
Maybe.
So pancha, poncho. Wait, that doesn't make sense. So plancha must be a verb, correct? Is plancha a verb?
Yes.
So plancha is something with 4 planchas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's both a noun and a verb.
Mm-hmm.
What does plancha mean? Well, you might as well just... fine, I give up. What is...
Okay.
Please put me out of my misery.
It says, plancha con 4 planchas. ¿Con cuántas planchas plancha? It means Pancha. Hold on. Now I have to look it
Oh,
up.
you. What is this? What is this? No, no.
Red alert!
Okay, I got
All
it.
crew to battle
So,
stations.
no, I have it right here. Look. I have to make sure I get it right. Okay, so Pancha irons with 4 irons, right?
What?
Plancha means irons. It means iron. So pancha planchas con 4 planchas. Pancha irons with 4 irons.
How do you iron with 4 irons? You have 2 hands. How do you with your feet?
I know, it's a tongue twister. So with how many irons does Pancha iron with? That's the thing. Pancha irons with 4 irons. With how many irons does Pancha iron with?
All right. Here's the thing.
I had to make sure I get it right and not mix it up. That's all.
You're fired.
Okay, next podcast I'm gonna give you one that's really good then.
How about you just give me a normal sentence?
A normal sentence. I will give you a normal sentence.
No one in Spain talks that way.
It's an old traditional tongue twister. And it helps.
Hola, señor. Pancha plancha con 4 planchas.
It helps.
No one talks like that.
It helps with pronunciation. It helps with like blah, 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 when actors and actresses go blah, 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 trying to like relax their muscles.
When I speak like that, it just comes out like a triple. I'm purring at that point.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
All right, fine.
Shut up, Wesley.
All right, so there we go. Our Spanish sentence. Hopefully you learned something. Podcast 31. Thank you all for your continued support. We do appreciate it. This is Vince and Ida Lee. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Take care.